Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the two dudes and our attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Bryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast, yeah. Start to the ending, whether it's the E or it's all E. The two dudes with the attitudes to bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'.
Welcome to Two Dudes with Attitudes, a wrestling podcast with the Heartbreak Dude Denton, and Ryan enjoys wrestling, and we are here for our AEW edition where we talk all things Rampage, Collision, Dynamite, and we're going to give some predictions for that huge pay-per-view, not PLE, pay-per-view that's coming up, and if you should, spend your $50-$60 on it on the BR app. As always, man, we're ready to have some fun. Ryan, you ready to go?
Yeah,
I actually about this AEW.
Speaking of the big AEW event on Sunday, I just bought my ticket for it. Yeah.
All right.
I bought it. I got a floor seat for $116 on StubHub.
Oh
now, after taxes and fees, it's like it came out to like $205 or something. But yeah, did I really save money?
It went up $100.
Because like taxes and like all the hidden fees and all that.
Dang, it was $100 extra bucks. That's insane.
Yeah, it was like $89, but yeah, it was like it went up to like $205 was the total.
Dang.
But yeah,
but still a floor seat. That's good.
Yeah, so I'm going on Sunday night. Yeah,
are you going alone or with someone?
I'm gonna go by myself. But
there you go. I've always wanted to do that. Actually, believe it or not. I think it'll be a better experience.
I think so, because like you can do whatever you want. You don't have to to worry about somebody else. And I'm gonna try to get a Two Dudes with Attitude sign. I'm gonna try to.
Are you really?
I'm gonna try.
Are you in the shot or no? Where are you on the floor?
I'm in the I'm like right by the entrance as the wrestlers are coming out. So I'm hoping that Tony Storm licks me or something. I would never wash my face again if she did.
Yes, please. Our sky blue gets thrown on you while you're sitting in the row. You see that? I know those were people that planted, but still, I was like, yes.
Oh
please.
Yeah, I couldn't promise I would let her go if that happened, but
I couldn't promise she would have got raised back up and over without me using my hands. All right.
Hi-oh.
Have you seen her? I mean, I bet that booty looks way better in person.
So yeah, I'm excited. It's gonna be a long night. It's one of those weird things.
Well, yeah.
It's like I'm really excited about it, but I'm also nervous. I'm like apprehensive. I'm skeptical. But I'm excited. I'm thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
It's like all these emotions in one because it's AEW, so they're gonna put on a good show. But at the same time, what kind of booking decisions are they gonna make? It's gonna be a long event. Are they gonna do Sting right? Is it like what's going to happen?
We'll decide right now, right? Yeah. We're going to decide that soon. The thing is, I'll tell you this, because I've been to 3 AEW shows now, all 3 that have been to California. Remember, you don't have to worry about getting drunk because you're only going to have 1 beer all night unless you don't want to watch a match, because there are no breaks. It's literally match, it's over, entrance, match, it's over, entrance. They're all 25-minute matches, and they go nonstop 4 hours later, and then you go home. So there's no peeing, no getting snack, so either pregame or get there early and eat, because
that's the plan.
Unless you want to miss a match, I don't know. So
yeah, but I also feel like if you miss 10 minutes of a Bryan Danielson match, you're not missing much as long as you're there for the ending. But
I mean, we've seen the BCC and FTR wrestle literally 8 times in the last 2 weeks. It's not like you can miss that one. I mean, what are you going to get? Blood? That's about it. But yeah. And on the floor is cool, man. My last one, like I said, the AEW event, I was like the front row on the top, but I miss things. You know what I mean? So being on the floor would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I can't wait. It should.
All right.
It's gonna be a good night. Gonna be a good night.
All right, and then we'll have a special Monday episode, right? We can talk about it, and you can talk about your experience.
Yeah.
All right. All right. Well, let's get into it. You ready?
Oh yeah.
All right. Rampage time. It's Rampage. I always think about the dragon and the monkey or the ape defeating the building. Remember Rampage?
Oh,
that game?
Oh yeah, the Nintendo game.
There was a movie with The Rock. The Rock was in that movie, right?
He had one leg. Yeah, he had one leg in that movie. But
that's right. Shout out to The Rock.
I remember the video game with the gorilla and was it like Godzilla and Donkey Kong or something?
It was
like a knockoff version of them. Yeah.
yeah. And speaking of The Rock, I know this is AEW, but if you haven't seen it yet, go find The Rock talking about Cody Rhodes and his response to how everything laid out. And you're telling me The Rock is outdated? Go listen to that freaking. I hope he brings that heat to SmackDown tonight, but go watch it. That shit is fire. Yeah. Go watch it if you haven't seen it.
Yeah.
Like now.
It was good. It was good stuff.
It's insane. All right. 60 seconds, way less. The show opens with Penta, Commander, and Bryan Keith winning a random match. So Rhea is super mad and cuts probably the most weirdest and awkward promo I have ever been a part of in my life, introducing her brother to AEW and what Ruby Soho could have had. The Young Bucks win a match, I guess, and then give Tony Schiavone a $25 Amazon gift card. Sammy Guevara isn't happy and has a brawl with Hobbs. Sky Blue and Julia Hart, who's back, I forgot she even was a person. They talk. Maria May wins again by defeating Anna Jay. Angelo Parker and Soho had a nice date, but we don't really hear about it, nor did we even see it, which is weird because wrestling always shows dates. And they will talk with Saraya next week. And in the main event, Roderick Strong defeats Jake Hager, and that is the Rampage 60-second or less recap. What'd you think? I mean, right?
Yeah, there was.
You didn't enjoy it, but what'd you think?
Yeah, I liked that I liked the addition of Jake Hager into the feud with Orange Cassidy and Roderick Strong, but I don't know, something about but like something about the hometown guy losing in front of his crowd, in one of his first matches back. Now I get it, right? You can't have Roderick Strong losing either, but this is one of those instances where he couldn't have wrestled Matt Taven. He couldn't have wrestled Mike Bennett. He couldn't have wrestled, somebody else that's in the Undisputed Kingdom to, and maybe get that win or maybe lose by DQ or something. But the way that he won, I mean, they were in Oklahoma and that's where he's from. He went to Oklahoma University and, it was just a huge letdown. He came out in the Oklahoma minor league baseball team's gear, which pretty, I guess the Tulsa Trillers, I think was their name or something. But
I don't know.
That was a little strange, but I don't know. It's like his first match back and you have him lose. But I get why they did it at the same time.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it was weird to have him there if he's not going to get a win, right? Like why put him even in his hometown if you know he's going to lose? I agree with you there. I thought it was weird, but it was a good match. It was a great main event, especially for Rampage. And for once, it wasn't like AAA guys or the CMLL guys or random dudes from ROH coming in to wrestle. You know what I mean? In the main event, they actually gave it to AEW guys who are actually pushing a story. Like I said, Rampage wasn't perfect, but minus the first match, which was literally stupid and I have no idea even what the point of that match was. So guys can flip around and they don't even tell stories. I'm over that phase. It was good in WCW. People might enjoy it in Mexico. That's their vibe in that country. But here, I need story, man. You can't just run around and flippity doodah for no reason in a pointless match. I'm like bored of it. But the Saraya storyline keeps going. They keep pushing that. Although I don't know for one, who pimps out their brother and is upset by it. And then homegirl is like calling him daddy and getting all hot and bothered and horny. And then she sprays her with like, she's a cat with like,
I know that was weird.
That was the most stupidest. I have no idea that's her brother, girl. Like what kind of, and what a dumb way to introduce your brother. I just don't, if he's like a real good wrestler or something, I've heard of him, but I've never seen him, like give him a better push. But we had the Sammy Guevara and the Hobbs thing, and you know what I mean? So I do feel like in the Young Bucks continue on.
Yeah, the Young Bucks
was funny. So I mean, at least we're still, this is what Rampage needs to be used for. Like I've always said, right? You got an hour, have a couple matches and push stories going into Collision and Dynamite. And I think they did that. So
yeah, it was a solid,
I didn't hate it.
Solid episode of Rampage. They brought it.
I agree. All right, you ready for Collision?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, let's go. 60 seconds or less. The show opens with Powerhouse Hobbs defeating Sammy Guevara in a hardcore match, or no holds barred, or DQ, whatever. The BCC want FTR, and they are the future. Then FTR defeats Shane Taylor Promotions, and then FTR state that they are not afraid of Jon Moxley. Okay. Thunder Rosa gets a win. Chris Statlander wants Sky Blue, I think, on Dynamite. Max Caster forgets his rap. And the Bang Bang Scissor Gang get a win. Bryan Danielson is having another dream match, I guess. And he's going to beat Kingston at Revolution. Malakai Black gets his first singles win in the AEW, I think for the first time ever. Congratulations out there. Mark Briscoe attacks him after the match. So Serena Deeb gets another win again. Bryan Danielson defeats Akiyama in the main event after Danielson flips off Kingston and kicks Akiyama in the ding-ding. Claudio gets involved. FTR gets involved. And then Tony Khan had time to book a 6-man tag for Dynamite to close the show. And that's a 60-second or less Collision recap. Sorry, my writing was small. I forget sometimes that I'm an old man. All right, where do you want to start on Collision, Broham?
Oh, man, I don't know. Let's talk the Sammy Guevara match, because I felt like that was a solid match to open the show. I know that, you know, we can do without the flippy flops and all the crazy spots that they do, but Powerhouse Hobbs, that man, like, I feel like there's nothing that man can't do, and he's unbelievable in the ring. And I was going to bring this up during Rampage, was like, what's the point of Powerhouse Hobbs and Sammy Guevara if like they're not even going to have a match at Revolution? So why are they doing all this? And then they answered all my questions. But when I watched Collision, because they had a banger of a match, that, you know, I think the right person won with Powerhouse Hobbs getting the victory. I think it was the right call. So, you know, I'm ready. I'm kind of ready for the Don Callis family to either, you know, do something else and move away from Jericho and Guevara. But at the same time, this match was a solid way to move them on, if that's in fact what they're doing, which based on the Revolution card it is. So
I fully agree with you, and I don't mind flippies and dippies and all that.
Yeah,
I like high flying when there's a story, and there was a story in this match. This match was probably the best match in AEW for the week. My thing is, why is everything a no DQ? Like, why is everything a no holds? Like, that's the only thing that I'm getting sick of. Like, this match didn't have to be that. Why is that'd be like having an elimination chamber every week in WWE? Like, we don't need to have weapons, and just these two guys are talented enough to have a match in the ring. And I've been stating this since we started this podcast a year ago, and even in our old podcast for the past 2 years, I've been stating this, that we are not in the Attitude Era anymore, where we have guys who need to rely on, like Mick Foley getting thrown off a cage and getting hit with a chair 50 times to get over. We have unstoppable, talented people now. Like, most wrestlers are talented and phenomenal, and they get it. They can tell stories in the rings. And I even though I'm not crapping on the match, I just want to see Tony Khan and AEW start booking just some matches, man. If it's not a title match, it's a freaking no holds barred match. Like, everything doesn't have to be no holds barred or a title match. It could just be a match. Let's let these guys go out and bang. And I think it would have been the same match. He could have been jumping off the ropes and stuff like that and done all the same hooplas, but we have to have people go through tables. We have to have people, you know, do this and that. And I mean, I liked it. I know it's a critique. I'm just saying.
No,
I think they're good enough to just tell a story in the ring without having to harm themselves in that way.
Yeah, I agree with that. And, you know, mine was more of a credit to Powerhouse Hobbs, because a big man doing spots like that is incredible. And it looked like you could tell he was doing everything he could to protect Sammy Guevara from some of these awful spots that they were having to do. And that just goes to show you just how good that guy is in the ring. And I think that AEW needs to start using him a hell of a lot more than how they are currently.
I agree. What are you thinking about this Malakai Black finally? The Tony Khan listening to fans, obviously, giving them single matches for the first time in a decade. But what do you think about him and Briscoe? Do you like that as a good start? Gives them both something to do. Malakai an easy win. Like, what are you?
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm excited to see Malakai kind of step off on his own. We've seen Buddy Matthews on his own. We've seen Brody King on his own, but we've never seen really Malakai Black do his own thing, and I'm excited to see what they do with it. Now, the House of Black did show up there at the end when Mark Briscoe was fighting off Malakai Black. Yeah. And then it got to be too much for him to handle. So I did like it. I thought it was a good way. I mean, if you're not going to put them in the trios division, you're not going to put them in the title picture anytime soon. You're not going to have them going after tag team titles. I think a non-title feud with Mark Briscoe, it gives Mark Briscoe something to do and something different than the stuff that he's been doing with, FTR and all those guys missing his brother, and like it gives him actually something to do and gives him a story that they can tell. So I like it. I did like it.
I mean, just imagine how much stronger the House of Black would look and feel if Julia Hart was a champion and Malakai Black was a champion, the leader and the female. And he's having his I don't know why he always had to be a trio or a tag team. Malakai Black should be a world champion by now. Has he ever won a singles title? Because I know he hasn't had a singles match in like 2 years. So
yeah, never.
Has he ever had so why is he has never had an international, a TNT, a world head? Like that's a joke. Like Malakai Black is that dude. And I'm not over here saying like WWE utilized them right, but they did in NXT. So use this guy right, man. Put a championship on that guy in the next few months and let him cook with the House of Black before he ups and leaves and wants to go back with his wife over in WWE, because that makes more sense for him.
I think that's probably happening. If more likely than not.
All right, what else you got? We can talk about the Max Caster rap, but whatever you want to.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because I just feel like yet again this whole thing is going nowhere. It's going
the whole Bang Bang Scissor Gang is what you're saying.
The whole Bang Bang Scissor Gang is going, because I keep thinking, okay, it's going to lead to, inevitably that somebody's going to turn on somebody. It's going to probably be the Bullet Club Gold turning on the Acclaimed, and it's going to lead to a unification match of the two trios belts or something. That's the only thing in my head that makes sense. But yet here we are one day out from Revolution, and no match has been announced. There's nobody has turned on each other, so it's clearly not happening then. Maybe it happens at Big Business in 2 weeks. I don't know when it's going to happen, but the fact that it just feels like these guys are kind of doing their thing, but they're not really going anywhere. And then Max Caster messing up the rap, it just kind of shows that even his head's not in it, because this man. He's been able to rap through the toughest of times. He's been able to on Rampage, where you went, he messed up, but he started it over and left and came back out. But yeah, like this one, he was just like, no, you know what? Cut it. I don't care. I'm not going to do it. And it just feels like that's kind of how I feel about this feud. I don't care about it. Why should anyone else?
That's what made me think it was a work. The fact that he just like gave up, that isn't like, and he even sat there for a while, like letting the beat, but maybe he just, when you like forget something, we've done it on the show where I'm like trying to think of a name and it could be a main person. I'm like, and once you're blank, you're blank. So maybe, he did release a whole bunch of X or tweets or whatever they call it, with a whole bunch of raps that he did to make up for it, calling him the worst rapper alive and this and that, because making fun of himself on how he forgot the lyrics and so on. So it made for some good stuff, but yeah. I'm not crapping on this as much as other people who are like starting please save, Jay White, and he's being ruined. I don't believe, what else is he going to do right now? Every title match is clouded right now. It's okay to give him something to do. My thing is the end game, and you can't just have them do this and then they wrestle at their big pay-per-view after Revolution just without anything going. Like, all we did was form them so they can have random trio matches by pairing them up randomly and making fun of Colton, or not Colton. It's Colton, right? Colton's the one who keeps saying one thing, and he's like, I think we should do us and Acclaimed. And then he's like, I think we should do Acclaimed and Colton. Like, I get it. Like, he's back-to-back weeks. He's the goofball or whatever, but you got to do more than that to have it feel like the breakup is worth it, or you just paired people together for literally no reason and then broke them up. That's my only knock on it. They haven't done anything. It's
just
kind of Board City.
Where's this going? Like, why should I be invested in this? And
I agree.
That's what I'm waiting on, is the payoff.
I agree. All right. I mean, I don't really have anything else. I mean, Bryan Danielson had a match, Serena Deeb. I mean, you got anything else you want to talk about, or just more FTR and BCC?
Yeah,
which all happens on Dynamite anyway. So
let's just go ahead and move in. And
I mean, it wasn't a bad episode of Collision. It just kind of happened. I was kind of bummed because they've been having like good story as of late. And I don't know, like, well, once again, we brought in, Akiyama. Like why? Once again, it's like so random. And then we'll talk about that too with the Chris Jericho thing. So it's like, once again, AEW, stop just like pulling random people in for fun. Well, we'll get into it.
I'll be honest. I was disappointed in this episode of Collision. I thought, they should have hyped it up a little bit better, because this was their return from the All-Star break, because they didn't have a Collision last week. And this, to me, this episode was a letdown. There was really no reason to tune in. There was no, Christian Cage on the show, no Adam Copeland. No Adam Copeland, no Wardlow. You just had Wardlow cut the biggest promo of his career on the Dynamite before, and you don't follow up with it. You have him do nothing on this
all week. He's not even on Dynamite.
Yeah, and it's just what are we doing? So this show felt like a letdown with it being its return episode from the All-Star game.
I agree with you there. For realsies. All right, Dynamite review. You ready?
Yep.
60 seconds or less. Let's go. The show opens with Hangman Page walking to the ring with one crutch and cowboy boots on. He says he's injured and won't wrestle at Revolution. Swerve comes out and says they've been to war, but didn't want him injured, didn't want it to end this way, but he's winning the title no matter what. Out comes Joe, and he doesn't even really care no matter who he faces, and him and Swerve start bickering. Then Hangman knocks out Swerve with the crutch. Three-way is still on. The Young Bucks are hunting the Bloodline. Sting. The BCC defeats FTR in Kingston. Chris Jericho wrestled Atlantis like 30 years ago or something, and he was bullied. So now he'll bully Atlantis Jr. tonight and bring violence. Will Ospreay is here. He's finally all elite. Finally, officially. Don Callis and crew come out, and they all talk, and Ospreay and Takeshita are ready for Sunday. The Bucks tell Kingston to dress better. All right, cool. Orange Cassidy defends against Nick Wayne. Roderick Strong attacks Cassidy after. The Bang Bang Scissor Gang make another lineup. Sky Blue defeats Chris Statlander. The Bucks find Sting's locker room, and it's filled with bats. Chris Jericho defeats Atlantis Jr. The Bucks walk to the ring and get attacked by Darby, who is wearing a Sting mask in the crowd. They beat down Darby, and out comes Ric Flair. Woo! 40 years later, he gets into the ring, and he pillow punches the Bucks, who lay him out with a low blow. Sting music hits, and the Bucks go to the ramp, but Sting comes from the sky like old Crow Sting from the WCW days, and him and Darby lay out the Bucks to close the show, and that is the 60-second or less Dynamite recap. All right, I know where you want to start, so just do it.
Yeah, let's go to the Sting. Let's talk about Sting and all that. And I know a lot of people love the ending, and I did too. I thought the Sting coming down from the Raptors spot was really cool. It was nice throwback. They don't do that anymore, and for safety reasons, and the fact that he was willing to do that and they allowed him to do so, it's a testament to who he is and what he means to that company. So I thought it was the perfect spot. But I just
stopped doing it, by the way. Sorry to interrupt your thought. Don't lose it. He stopped doing it after Owen's death, right? Didn't WCW stop doing it after that?
Yeah, I think they stopped it.
I forget. I thought they stopped.
I think they stopped after Owen Hart died, and then WWF obviously stopped it as well when Owen Hart died. So I think they've done it occasionally from time to time, but it's been like few and far between where they have people in the rafters. Or I think one time when Sting was in WWE, he was like up at the scoreboard looking down or something. So like he got to go up there, but he didn't come down from he didn't ascend.
Sorry to mess up your thought. Go.
No, it's okay. But yeah, the segment itself to me just, and the whole night, it was funny when you pointed out that the Young Bucks are hunting the Bloodline. That's exactly what I thought when I was watching. I was like, this is just like the Cody Rhodes,
right?
Hunting the blood. They're hunting Sting. They're looking for Sting, and it goes into the locker room and there's bats, and it's just like hanging upside down on the ceiling. Not even like, and we're talking about baseball bats, not like Bat the Animals. Thank
you for clarifying.
Yeah. I'm like, what is going on here? And then the Ric Flair thing, where it took him 40 minutes to come to the ring, and then his punch. Man. Like, I think I can throw a better punch right now than Ric Flair can. His punches look terrible.
Yeah, they looked really bad. Yeah,
they looked awful. They make Shane McMahon look really good.
Yeah.
And then
here comes the money.
But my thing is, my one thing this match, I will say they've done a great job building for it. Like I don't like the Young Bucks, and I want to watch this match, and I want to see the Young Bucks lose. And I think they've done a good job making me hate the Young Bucks. And so they've done everything they can to get me to tune in for this match, and I'm excited about it. The only thing is what took Sting so long to come to the ring? I mean, Darby Allin, he's in the audience. He's got a Sting mask on. He runs in there and he's beating up the Young Bucks, and then he gets jumped, and then they hit the Meltzer driver or the Tony Khan driver or the EVP driver or whatever they're calling their finisher now. Mm-hmm. Like he allows that to happen. And then Ric Flair comes out and he's getting jumped. And then that's when Sting decides to finally come down from the rafters. And it's just, what took you so long, man? Like why it felt like this segment took a little bit too long. And also, I know they had this plan for a while now, but that arena was not full at all. And you could see the empty seats. And that just made me, when he was coming, you could really tell when he was coming down from the rafters how empty it was. But they also had other shots throughout the night of the entire arena. And you could see the entire top row tarped off. And I don't know. I was just like, is that really the best place to do this? Why not do it at Revolution when you're going to have a big crowd there? And I think that would have made that spot even cooler. But I don't know. It took me out of the moment doing it in like an empty arena, essentially.
Yeah. No, I feel you there. And if you're going to do that moment, why on the final Dynamite? Why not?
Yeah. Wait until the pay-per-view.
Yeah. Because it didn't make sense anyway, because him coming from the rafters, what's the difference? Him coming from the thing and him coming from the rafters is a different thing for the Young Bucks to attack him. It literally made no purpose. And if you see him, there's a shot of him. He had to like tell Darby literally like, dude, get up, because he had to take off his stuff because he couldn't do it himself. So Darby was like knocked out, and then he was like, get up, or you need to help me. You can see him telling Darby to get up, and Darby like gets up and unlatches him. And then the Bucks are like, then they show the Bucks are like wait, like, come on. Oh, they got it. Okay, now let's attack. It was just a stupid, just didn't work. He needed
wasn't executed very well.
It wasn't. And I also hate like predetermining things. Like, the fact that Sting was like, I know they're going to come in my office, so me and Darby are going to hang up a whole bunch of bats to tell them that I'm going to come from the rafters because Crow Sting is back. So this is going to be their hint if they come in here. And if they don't, we just wasted 3 hours, Darby. But either way, it was just, I hate that kind of stuff. And just the Bucks talking to Eddie Kingston, so pointless. And there was just a lot about it. And I don't even want to get into Ric Flair. Ric Flair needs to stay the F out of the ring. I'm sick of it. It's a joke. If he wants to be a manager, an announcer, a spokesperson, a hype man, if he wants to chug his energy drinks in the corner of the ring like Stone Cold, that's perfectly fine with me. But he needs to stay the F out of the ring. He looks like a joke. He's 100 years old. In my eyes, I think he's tarnishing his legacy. Stay the F out of the ring, dude. Stay out of it. You have no right to be in there. You're too old. It's time to let it go. Move on to other things like most retired wrestlers do. He's way too old, and he looks old. Looks like he's like sick. And he just looks bad.
Yeah, he didn't look
It was
good.
stupid. The low blow is stupid.
The low blow was awful. He didn't even like he just moved his arm.
Because you don't want to hurt him. You can't do that. There's no point. And he went backstage last week to go into their thing, and that was the plot.
Yeah.
For them to hold Darby and for him to come out and be like, never mind, pow, zoom. Like that was what all that was for. Like, what a build. What a build. Also, are Sting and Darby the tag team title champions? I've never seen them with the titles. Are they?
Yeah, they are apparently. Yeah.
Why'd we give them the titles if they're not even wearing them? You don't announce them as the champions. I don't understand what the point of giving them the championship was. I felt like that would be more important. Like they'd be hyping that up as well. Like we're gonna keep these titles. We're gonna retire them. We're gonna anything. Like they haven't even brought it up. So why did we give it to them? That makes it.
It's a
irrelevant.
Shame on Ricky Starks and Big Bill too, because they were killing it and they were thriving as a tag team. And 100%. They're not even on the card for Revolution.
Yeah. But either way, I know I crapped on it, but I did like it. I thought it was a good hype. The only thing is, who ended on top? Wait till you hear my predictions, my man. All right. Let's talk about the opening. We'll go from the ending to the opening. I didn't mean to. I know in my thing I kind of crapped on it, like I didn't like it. I did enjoy the opening a lot, actually. I just think it was funny that Hangman Page, for one, I don't know why the internet was trying to like crap on people. Like, what do you mean? Fans are stupid. They all thought Hangman Page was. I saw nothing about Hangman being injured. I didn't even know. I know we brought it up only because someone had brought it up on Twitter or X or something. So I didn't think he was injured there. You can tell it was planted. I didn't think it was that big of a deal that like they hyped it up as this huge surprise. And when you hype it up as a huge surprise, you don't have to like have him like in a Kevin Nash wheelchair, but dude, this guy walked out with one crutch and cowboy boots on. As soon as he walked out with one crutch and cowboy boots on, I knew for 100% he wasn't it. Like, if you're it, put a dang fake cast on. Like, you have no selling it whatsoever. He cut a good promo, I guess. It was what it was. I like Swerve's. I also like when Swerve and Joe were talking, that Swerve was like, I go into people's houses and I'll duck their children. And Hangman was like in the ring, like, cool, bro. Like, but I do like that he talked about beating up Nick Wayne. I think we forget that was Nick Wayne, believe it or not. I like everything that they did. I like the Joe stuff. I didn't like that they like the announcers announced that, well, I guess we're only having a one-on-one match now. And then 4 seconds later, they're like, never mind, it's a 3-way. Cool beans. But I like the sell too. Swerve Strickland taking that crutch, he looked like he was out. When he got up, he even had drool on the ring. Like, he was like fully committed to that like bit. I loved it because it made it feel that much more impactful. Like, bro got knocked the F. Like, I was waiting for Chris Tucker to get on top of him and be like, you got knocked the out. Like, I was waiting for it.
Yeah.
Like, it was well done. So I thought the segment did what it needed to do. I mean, have him come out. At least you hyped it. Sometimes MJF wasn't even being shown before pay-per-view matches. So I like what they're doing here. I like the vibe. I like that Joe's like, I don't give two shits who's in it or who's not. We'll see what happens. We got predictions coming up. But yeah, I didn't mind it. I liked it. I thought it was good stuff from all.
I didn't
Somebody
mind
didn't.
Yeah, I didn't mind it either. What was the point? Like, that's my, like, what was the point of faking the ankle injury and, you know, saying, oh, by this, I can't compete next week at Revolution. So, and then the announcers being, oh, it's a one-on-one match. And then Adam Page hits him with the crutch. And then he's like, actually, LOL, JK, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be in the match next week. Like, that was my only thing. It was the promo and everything was great. Everybody did their part perfectly, but I just don't understand what the point of it was. I see no point as to, like, that's the angle they went with on the go home show of Revolution of what Hangman Page may not be able to compete. Oh yeah, he is. LOL, JK. Okay, see you guys Sunday. I was like, this served no purpose for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I did like what Swerve said. I like what Joe said, though. I don't like, if you're gonna go that way, don't knock him out there. Like, at least like sell it into the pay-per-view or something.
Yeah.
And make fans think it's gonna be a one-on-one, and then like, you know, he comes out on commentary or something, and then when the bell rings, he like hits somebody or does something and jumps in, or you know what I mean? I guess that is a bigger deal. But yeah, I mean, I still didn't hate it. I just like that they all at least, you know, they all sounded good, even though it was a stupid point. He still executed it well, is what I'm saying. And I like the sell of the crutch as well. All right, what's next? A lot of stuff happened on here.
Oh man. Let's see what else happened on Dynamite. Let's go into the AEW International Championship Open Challenge and how we've been talking the last couple of weeks about how the rankings are absolutely pointless, and yet again this proves our point of how pointless they are, because instead of having people earn their chances at the International Championship, Nick Wayne answers the Open Challenge for Orange Cassidy. And I thought, again, another interesting opponent for Orange. You know, he's not even involved in the Christian Cage Daniel Garcia story. So why is Nick Wayne answering open challenges by Orange Cassidy? Why not have Adam Cole coach somebody, or why not have Adam Cole, you know, come out at ringside with Mike Bennett or Matt Taven, or even have the Undisputed Kingdom, and just have it be somebody else random and have the Undisputed Kingdom come out, or Roderick Strong come out afterwards and beat them up. I don't know. This whole thing, just, you talk about random and pointless. That's exactly what this was. This served no purpose in the show. You know, and you didn't even have Daniel Garcia there. Like, that's the other thing too. Like, Daniel Garcia didn't come out or anything. You had you know, and that's his opponent at the pay-per-view on Sunday.
No, Daniel came out at the very end.
He did?
He did come out. You could barely see him. He was like he came out at the very, very end. They like barely showed him. I can see why you missed it. But he did. It wasn't like an impactful thing, but he was there.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, I must have been one of those blink and you miss it type things because I did not see him there.
Yeah.
No Adam Copeland. But why did we even have to have this match? It was a great match. Don't get me wrong. Nick Wayne is phenomenal in the ring, and he's getting better and better. Is. Yeah, like he looks so smooth in the ring. He's so good in the ring. But I don't know. Like, just this is AEW does this double booking thing, and they do things where they intermix storylines with each other, and it gets a little confusing because you would think, oh, okay, Christian Cage is the champion. He's probably going to have a match at the pay-per-view with somebody on Orange Cassidy's gang, but no, they're like feuding with two different groups, and yeah, it was just all over the place.
Yeah, so I'm agreeing with you with most of it. Here's the problems, right? There's 3 key problems. One, Orange Cassidy wrestles way too much. I've been saying this for weeks now.
Yeah, overexposed.
He cannot, yes. And why did he have to wrestle this week? There's so many people that could have, like we said, where's Wardlow? Like, you're just having random matches for no reason for Orange Cassidy. And 2, it does take away. The rankings are pointless. They weren't brought up at all this week. They're not shown. Why did Tony Khan bring it back if he wasn't even going to execute or follow through with it at all? And I know we crap on him all the time for that he is known for coming up with an idea of not knowing how to end it, but this has just been pointless. The rankings are super pointless. And imagine once again being Roderick Strong. Like, this dude's like, dude, I had to wait 6 weeks for a title shot when everybody and their mom gets one for free. It's just all a hot mess. I don't understand any of it. Why Nick Wayne was involved. This is once again AEW just putting people together randomly for no reason, like Jericho and Atlantis. I get that you told us, you gave us a background for once. Thank you, O'Shea Jackson Jr., because Tony Khan was crapping on you, but then he literally did what you told him to do the next week. I get that, but this also isn't the way to do it. Just because you give a 20-second backstory on why he's going to wrestle Atlantis Jr. doesn't mean he should wrestle him. You don't. What I'm saying is that we didn't mean put 2 random people together is okay if you tell us why beforehand. No, don't put 2 random people together. If you're going to bring somebody in and build them, give us a story on why they're important and who they are. We're not saying just bring random people every week from other organizations and then tell us who they are, and that makes it better. I mean, it helps, but it doesn't make it. Stop bringing in random people. Why did he wrestle Atlantis Jr. from 30 years ago? It made no sense. There's no point to it. Was it a good match? Sure. It was fun. Yeah, but what did it do? It was literally a pointless match with Chris Jericho in it. I'm bored of these, like, I need story AEW. I get you. You're once again, you're doing things, but you're just not doing it right. You're getting there, but you're not there yet. And that's like Will Ospreay. Dude,
yeah.
People are like, oh my God, he's here. That was what you wanted? You guys are sitting here telling me that Ospreay, Monet, and Okada are going to save AEW, something that Punk and Adam Copeland, who are Hall of Famers, couldn't do. These 3 are going to save it, and you have Will Ospreay coming out in a Kermit the Frog tracksuit, cutting a
I thought he was a member of the Spirit Squad when he came out.
Yeah, it was awful. Cutting a mediocre promo, not really telling us, once again, where was the Will Ospreay video packages building up to him coming out? This is what I'm saying. Show us who the F Will Ospreay is. Like, why are we not? You think you have to build fans, man. This dude is probably the most talented wrestler in the world right now. I'm going to throw it out there. Probably out of everybody. I'm talking everybody. He probably is. Tell us, show us, give us resumes, video, give us a 5-minute video package, then have him come out and have him cut a phenomenal pro. None of that was done. I don't care what AEW fans did. That was a weak ass come in. And then he squares up with Takeshita in the end. Like, okay, cool. He's going to turn down Callis at Revolution. Whoop-de-doo. Like, it was a hot mess to introduce someone who was going to bring you out of the rating slump that you're in.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't hate the Will Ospreay thing, but it was just, it felt flat. They didn't tell me who Will Ospreay was. I'm supposed to know who he is. And, I don't watch New Japan. So all I know is that this is the guy that was at Full Gear who said, I'll be in AEW around March. So you just got to wait, and LOL, I'll see you then. And that was it. And we haven't seen him since. And This is the way they brought it. I didn't care for the way they brought him in. In his defense, he did put on X that Delta lost his suitcase twice, or they lost both of his bags.
Oh, is that why?
So that's probably why he was in that tracksuit, because he didn't have any clothes, and probably was like, Powerhouse Hobbs was like, here's my outfit, and he was like, it's 3 sizes too big, bruv, and he was like, just put it on.
Yeah.
But anyway,
but explain that once again. We don't know everything. Yeah.
But yeah, it was, I don't know, the whole segment with Don Callis, just, everyone's chanting Ospreay, and he's like, Enta Keshta. It was dumb, stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we all know it's coming, that Ospreay's going to turn babyface, or I guess he already is a babyface. He's going to turn on the Don Callis family. He's going to beat Takeshita. But yeah, it was a bad way to introduce him. I did like he is over with the crowd, and the crowd was chanting for him. They were cheering for him, rightfully so. And I think AEW, they got to build around Ospreay going forward. I got face of the company vibes from him when he was in the ring, and I think they can build the company around Will Ospreay, and I think they'll be in good shape if they do so. But they have to use him properly, and they have to don't throw him in a world title match right away. Don't do stupid stuff like that. Like, build him up and let him be let him have a credible run in AEW. But do some videos, tell some stories. Give us a reason to care about Will Ospreay.
Mm-hmm. Once again, I'm not going to beat on a dead horse, and we're going to move on to predictions. But Tony Khan, just because you know them doesn't mean everybody knows them. And that's the problem. Tony Khan just thinks if he's heard of them because he watches independent wrestling all day in his mansion, that he assumes all fans know them. They don't. Yeah. So we got to stop. Atlantis Jr. got like a 0 pop.
No.
So people gave no craps about him or why he was even there. So, and that was with your intro. So we got to stop at that, Tony Khan. Build your characters that you have. You have so many people not being used, but yet every week on 3 shows, you use people who shouldn't be on your show. Stop. And Orange Cassidy, have him wrestle on 1 show. Doesn't need to be on all shows, and doesn't need to wrestle every week. Like, give other people time to shine. That's my thing.
Yeah.
But
you have 3 shows a week, and he's on all 3 of them. It makes
yeah. But once again, doing better. They're getting there. I didn't hate this week at all. And I'm excited for Revolution. And I'm glad you're going. So I'm pumped for it.
2 dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the 2 dudes and the attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Bryan and Denton, they here to get your attention. The 5-star broadcast shit, start to the ending. Whether it's the E or it's all E, the 2 dudes with the attitudes will bring the heat. Get the point, yeah, it's on, time to lock in. Listen to the podcast where they get it poppin'. Two dudes with attitudes, let's go. It's the 2 dudes and the attitudes, ruthless, aggressively speaking, so let's do this. We're Bryan.